Peace, Desiree D. Ray Wise, spiritual healing coach here, and I'm coming to you all with a quick reading for the Jason months. If you've never heard of the Jason months, Jason is an anagram, I think is the word, or I don't know what the proper term is, but it is a breakdown for the months July, August, September, October, November, the Jason months. And Jason months, y'all know we have 4th of July. I don't know what we celebrate in August. Memorial Day is something else, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's just a lot of energy that is jam packed into these last 6 months of the year. And so, spiritually, I just wanted to give a forecast and update on what you all can look forward to, or the spiritual work that needs to be done during that time in order to have the best outcomes, in order to be prepared, in order to be aligned, and to really bring in the fruits of what that energy has to offer, while at the same time being spiritually covered and protected throughout this energy. Um, July, we've already started with a major hurricane. Hurricane Beryl just barreled through the U.S. Virgin Islands area, Mexico, Texas, made its way all the way up to Canada, right? And even that is symbolic of this Jason energy. But trust me, all is well. And I'm going to share with y'all what Spirit is giving me through these cards about what is to expect for this time. So, first card out we got is Prosperity Begins. This is for the month of July. For the month of July, if you have not recognized it already, prosperity is beginning, but this prosperity is coming in multiple ways. It's not just coming by getting a raise, even though some of you are getting a raise, right? Some of you are being given opportunities to make more monies, where seeds that you've sown are now sprouting. The good work that you've done is now showing its fruit. That's why it's a tree on here, and you see there's a whole bunch of peaches up there. You can't really see the tree because it's blending in with the background. But at the end of the day, trees are beginning to sprout and spring forward from the seed that you've sown at the beginning of this year. So some of y'all may be getting raises where you're making more money, but prosperity begins also speaks to there may be some expenses in your life that may be uh, um, not as expensive as it was, right? Maybe you got a new homeowner's insurance or something like that, and because it's cheaper than your last homeowner's insurance, now your mortgage is lower. Or maybe something happens, it's your Xfinity account or your AT&T phone number, your T-Mobile or whatever, and they call you and they say, hey, we're going to take $60, $100, $200 off of your balance for this month for whatever reason. So the prosperity is coming in multiple ways. It's not just coming in an influx of financial abundance. It may be coming in your ability to save more money, where you, in areas where you were once spending more than probably you would have liked. But also prosperity is really speaking to in this month nurturing and nourishing yourself, because we see this tree, we see the hands that are pressing down on the tree, but also understand that you too are the seed. So you are the fruit that is being bared, but you're also the seed, and you're also the energy, the person that is pressing that seed down, that is giving it what it needs to grow, to bloom, and to blossom. So prosperity beginning is also you watering yourself, because the more abundant, the more fruitful you feel and you think and you act towards yourself, the more fruit you are actually able to bear, right? Um, the card that kind of validates this energy of you taking care of yourself, we got the law of immortality, for the month of July. So in this month, we're really being asked to lean into our resiliency, lean into the full essence of who we really are, right? There's a fullness to ourselves. There's aspects of ourselves that maybe we haven't fully embraced. Maybe because there's some lingering thought forms, there's some lingering beliefs, there's some some angst, some fear surrounding who we really are and what it is what it is we're capable of doing, leaning into that God force, leaning into that divine mind, leaning into that Christ consciousness. I know a lot of people who are on the spiritual path and who are going for enlightenment, a lot of people say they want that, they crave that, they desire that, but we have to understand that it can also be scary to get into the full oneness of your immortality, the full oneness of your God being. And so this month of July is asking us to really reflect on how comfortable are we being at home with God, being one with our higher selves, being in that space that pushes us to grow, expand beyond our human limitations, beyond the programming, beyond, how our lives have been structured. And so like, even with this hurricane that just passed, and other things that were even showing up in my life in this beginning of July, I've been able to see my own strength and my own resiliency. So in this month of July, prosperity is blooming and is blossoming, but it doesn't mean that it's going to look exactly like how your humanity may want it to look, right? It may not look like I said, the raise or a random check coming in, even though it can look like that too, because our household did receive a random check at the beginning of this month that we were not expecting. So it can come in that way. It is happening. Just stay open and available to it, and know that you are a divine, immortal being. Know that you are the all. Know that you and God are one. For the month of August, we got the throat chakra, and then we got the law of perception, the throat chakra and the law of perception. So that's interesting because Leo season is this fiery energy, this very expressive energy, this allow yourself to be seen, allow yourself to be heard type energy. So in the month of August, look out for the ways in which that you need to be speaking up for yourself, or you need to be taking action for yourself, or you need to express yourself in a way that allows you to be in the oneness of God, right? That may look like at your job, that may look like in your family, that may look like in your relationships, in your friendships, that may look like when you on the phone talking to a bill collector or somebody, but just being very intentional to say what you mean. I heard this powerful statement that I want to share with y'all. It says, say what you mean what you say, but don't say it mean. And when I heard that, that was a light bulb that went off. Say what you mean what you say, but don't say it mean. And so that may be a way that we need to exercise that throat chakra energy in the month of August, being very cautious, being very deliberate with our words, because our words matter. Our words have meaning. Our words are creating. And in the month of August, our words are going to be creating change in our reality, how we speak, but not only how we speak, but also how we see. Because we also got the law of perception. So in the month of August, we're being asked to make sure that we're not speaking to an illusion, speaking to something that is not there, over investing our energy into something that is not real or that doesn't add value to our lives. But at the same time, being spiritually mature enough to look at ourselves and look at how we've deluded ourselves, because sometimes we want to continue to live in a lie, continue to live in an illusion. And so something may be there clear as day, and you'll ignore it. You'll say, no, that's not that. No, that's not it. You'll literally speak out of your mouth that something is not what it is when it is that, right? It's clear, it's obvious. Anybody with the eyes to see can see what something is, but because you want to maintain a lie, you will say you don't see it, and therefore you won't express the truth. So ask for your vision, your spiritual eyesight to be very keen and to be very on point in the month of August, because some of you are going to be seeing things that you need to see, because seeing it supports your protection. When you can't see what is really in front of you, whether it is an energy that dwells inside of a person. It can come in the form of love, it can come in the form of hate. Sometimes somebody can be disguised as, oh, I got your best interests at heart. I love what you do. I want to support you. I want to support your family. I want y'all to win. I want you to win so much, I'm willing to do this. They could be looking like that on the surface, right? But that can be an illusion. Maybe in the background there's an energy of envy, or there's an energy of jealousy, or there's an energy of, I wish I could have that, or why they gotta have that, right? So that energy could be present, and your spirit may be showing you that or revealing that to you, but you don't want to look past the illusion. Okay. So um the throat chakra energy is also about, not just about what you speak and what you express, but also what you hear. So listen for truth. There's only one truth. If there's any confusion, if there's any going back and forth, if things aren't clear, you need to take a step back and ask yourself, am I eluding myself? Let me look at the full picture of what is actually happening, right? And really tune into that energy. That throat chakra is also about being able to hear spiritually. The throat chakra is also intuition. It's also intuition. So if you ever need clarity, you need to go for clarity in the spirit. And pay attention to how the ego will try to talk you out of what is apparent spiritually. Okay? That's the month of August. All right. For September, we got this card that says discontent and boredom. Excuse it, it is green. So it's fading in with my background. It says discontent and boredom. And then the other two supporting cards that came out with it is the law of cause and effect. And then we also got the law of compensation. The law of compensation. So in the month of September, you may find yourself in a space of blah, feeling like things are just going, things are just moving, nothing is exciting in your life. So you're discontent, you're bored. It's like disdain, right? Or just if you've ever looked in the tarot cards, it may even appear to you like the Four of Cups, where you're just kind of discontent, arms are folded, and you're just like, what is actually happening? Well, Spirit is saying for the month of September that this is the law of cause and effect, right? You're being asked to find excitement, find joy in the simple things of life, right? Excitement does not have to come from thrill. Excitement does not have to come from the hunt of life, right? Find excitement in peace. Find excitement in quiet. Find excitement in meditation. There is an excitement there because we know and understand that when we sit in a peaceful, quiet, meditative state, we open ourselves up to receive downloads and revelations from the divine. So if you're feeling bored or if you're feeling discontent in September with life, ask yourself, how am I defining fun? How am I defining excitement? How am I defining what is good and what is not? Right? What is actually important in my life, and how do I welcome that in? How do I take the action? How do I change my beliefs surrounding what fun is? I think about it like this. My friends and I used to think that fun was smoking weed, drinking alcohol, partying, like that's fun. But at some point in my life, that belief of that being fun had to change, and fun became a quiet night, right? Fun became an early morning quiet cup of tea, right? So don't find your new fun. Find your new fun and give what you seek. Give what you seek. You may experience a discontentment in the month of September because you're not putting out what you are actually desiring to get back, right? And so make it a game with yourself. Like when Club Shay Shay Shannon Sharp did that interview with Cat Williams. Cat Williams said he plays a game with the universe that he just loves and that he just knows and that he just embraces. And that game is uh, give as much as you can give and watch how spirit, watch how the universe, watch how God blesses you back. So play that game with yourself in the sense of, if I do this meditation, what will I receive back? If I do this exercise, what will I receive back? If I give, what will I receive back? If I uh, uh, go have this experience, this adventure, just do something new, how does that change me? So play with the law of cause and effect and be excited about that, right? Excitement doesn't have to be hooting and hollering and running around and doing all of these different things. You can find excitement in the simple things. Find excitement in testing your own spirituality. The month of September is asking you to find your joy, your bliss, and your contentment by changing your beliefs and therefore changing your life and watching how these changes bless you. All right. The month of October, two cards actually came out. We got transformation and choose wisely. Transformation and choose wisely. And I'll tell y'all, there's a lot of green in these cards. I noticed that when I first pulled them. There's a lot of green in these cards, and that to me just says there's a lot of heart chakra energy. There's a lot of love energy. There's a lot of energy present that is asking us to be grounded, right? That is asking us to be grounded, to be uh, um, stationed within ourselves in a sense, and to trust ourselves, trust our work, right? Trust who we are. So a lot of green for this last few months of the year. Okay. But October, transformation. So October, my favorite month of the year, um, is asking us to choose what we focus on, choose what we give our energy to, because those things are changing us, evolving us, growing us. Okay. And so that's why it says choose wisely. You can't really see it because, excuse me, I can't really see it because it's kind of blending in, but you get the picture, right? There's going to be so many things that are um, competing for your attention. It's almost like an auction or something, right? It's like an auction. I'm sure more presidential debates, more hooting and hollering based off of who about to be the next president. Uh, um, just a whole bunch of energy right now. So, and you already know, whenever there's these presidential elections, they like to throw monkey wrenches in the game to try to, they like to stir up things, whether it's gun violence, uh, food shortage, uh, uh, climate change, natural disasters, all of these different things to get your bid, to get your vote. And so if you give too much of that, your energy, then you're missing out on the opportunity that is for your own transformation, for your own development, for your own healing, and for you coming into the fullness of your heart and in your being. Okay. The supporting card for the month of October is the law of gender, the law of gender. So we're talking about balancing out our masculine and feminine energy, balancing out our light and our dark, which is perfect for the month of October, because in the month of October, people tend to celebrate Halloween, and you wear all of these costumes, whether it's the devil or Jason or a police officer or whatever, but you dress up in these archetypes. You dress up in these symbolic archetypes that probably represent an unconscious belief system or a subconscious perspective, or what they may say, your shadow self. You feel safe to be in that shadow. This year, though, instead of thinking about it as like fun and games, or, oh, this is cute, or I'm going to be a sexy male lady, whatever, think about it as an opportunity for you to be balancing out that masculine and that feminine, which is really your light and your dark, your inner light, your inner dark, right? The conscious and the subconscious. Think about it as a oneness, as a coming together, a fullness of who you are. And that alone requires focus. You cannot be distracted while trying to understand your own inner world. Okay? Worried about this, and that, and the third is too much. And I'm telling y'all from my own experience, the level of self care that we have to have in this last 6 months of the year is impeccable. Like, we got to be on our shit. And I know some of you may be eating well, some of you may exercise, some of you may meditate, but spirit is asking us for a full-bodied self-care practice, meaning a spiritual practice, a spiritual practice, a physical practice, an emotional practice, a health and well-being practice, a relationship practice, like literally invigorating the fullness of your life with care, with honor. That is going to be the ultimate gateway into transformation. And that is how you are going to see the spaces and places in your life where you're exuding a certain light, a certain radiancy, a certain love, a certain glow. And then on the opposite side, where you know you need some work. Okay. You only can determine that by really digging into yourself. Let's get into the month of November. We got Triumph and the heart chakra. I'm telling y'all, a lot of greenery. We got Triumph and the heart chakra. How you gonna win if you ain't right within? How you gonna win if you ain't right within? Come again. Lauryn Hill said that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Girls, you know you better watch out. Some guys are only about that thing, that thing, that thing. Right? Your win is going to come from really loving, embracing, and nourishing yourself, like I just said. So everything that I just said about October and that level of self-care, let's put that into the month of November. That level of love, right? The supporting card for November is the law of divinity, the law of divinity. As you're really loving on yourself, it's really about honoring the fact that the same source that created the entire universe dwells inside of you. This is why your kidneys look like kidney beans. This is why your brain looks like a walnut. This is why your alveoli, whatever they call it, looks like grapes, right? In your lungs, the things that help you breathe, it looks like grapes, right? This is why all of those things resemble nature, because you and nature, you and God, you and the divine are one. And we got to really understand that we've already won. You've already won. You are already home. You are already in the oneness and in the presence of God. The work is really about accepting that. And the way that we accept that is through showing up for ourselves day in and day out, right? Day in and day out. Asking ourselves, do I see myself the way God sees me? Do I treat myself the way God wants me to be treated? Now, the catch with that is that many of us have been indoctrinated by the religious, philosophical, theological perspective of God. God is a vengeful God. God is a jealous God. God is a wrathful God. God will turn his back on you. And so being programmed with that energy, you fear that connection to that sacred source energy, because it's like, whoa, if I make a mistake, then I'm going to be abandoned and cast out and scorned and sent to hell. Stop. All of that is just a form of control, mind control. The essence of God is pure, unconditioned love. Okay. And that's what we want to understand. And that's what we want to lean into. And so throughout the month of November, ask yourself, how am I loving me? How am I nourishing, nurturing, honoring me? How am I healing my heart, letting my heart to be open so that I can experience the fullness of the divine? And then being intentional about that work is what allows you to welcome in that triumph that is already yours. If you're feeling like a loser, it's because you're disconnected from the God force that dwells inside of you. If you're feeling unsuccessful, disconnected from the God source that dwells inside of you. Last two cards, December. We got rest and rejuvenate, which is like so on point, obviously. And then the supporting card says the law of forgiveness. The month of December is a perfect time to begin your reflection. Not the perfect time to set your resolutions. It's the perfect time to begin your reflections on the past year, so that you can start to get clear on what you need to do, the work you need to do, because December is the winter. And when we're in the winter, we are in rest and rejuvenation. When we're no, sorry, that's the law of forgiveness. When we're in the winter, we are in rest and rejuvenation. We are in hermit mode. We are in hibernation mode. And in that hibernation mode, what is supposed to be happening is we're supposed to be revising our days, revising our months, revising the year we've had, and really reflecting on what we could have done better. But in that reflection, allowing ourselves to forgive ourselves, because we don't need to bring into the new year any guilt, any shame, any resentment about what we did or did not do. So as in the month of December, we want to really spend time in rest and rejuvenation, but also most importantly just honoring and nurturing the quiet, the peace of ourselves. And that self-love work is what's going to really open us up to forgive and let go of past mistakes we've made throughout the year. Okay. That's the reading for the Jason months, or the last 6 months of the year. Um, I'm going to be doing 6-month forecast readings from July to December for the family. This is going to be my last public reading offering that I'm going to make. I'm only going to be doing readings for people who are either in my classes, people who are in Patreon. That's it. If you're in my class, a specific class that I may be teaching throughout these last 6 months, or if you are in Patreon, that's only readings I'm going to be doing. So this is going to be the last time for people who are just on these YouTube streets, let me say it like that, to get a reading from me. And we're going to be doing the Jason month reading. So we're going to go from July all the way to December. I know Jason stops at November, but we're going to go from July to December. So you'll get a 6-month forecast, a personal reading about what you need to be doing. The reading I just gave right now is a more general, but this reading is going to give you something to look forward to month to month to month to month. And it's beautiful because it's going to be a recording that you get to come back to. So let's say every first of the month, you go back, you listen to that video, and you get prepared. You start doing the work, you align with that energy, and you watch all the fruit, all of the abundance, all of the healing, and all of the transformation that you get to embody, because now you have this spiritual awareness. Now you are spiritually prepared. So this is going to be the last public reading, the Jason months reading. It's going to be available to you now. I'm going to close it on Sunday. After Sunday, that's going to be it for these readings. Okay. I'm not going to open it back up. After Sunday, these readings are going to close. So if you know you like this reading, if you want a Jason month forecast, if you want to be prepared for this last 6 months of the year, this reading is for you. It will make the difference. But don't take my word for it. I want y'all to watch some reading testimonies that I have here and enjoy. The link is in the description to get your reading. Peace.
First of all, I would like to say, D-Ray, I love you. You're like, that reading was beyond on point. You had suggested in the reading for me to watch a specific show. Literally the day I got the reading is the day I finished watching that show. And trust me, I got a lot of gems from it, a lot of message I needed from it. So yeah, we were definitely connected.
Hey, peace family. If you're thinking about doing a reading with Desiree Wise, I would say do it. She is phenomenal. She's awesome. Since the new year, I've done about 3 or 4 readings with her, and it's always been spot on. It's always been accurate. Sometimes I'm just amazed and stumped. You know, her level of intuition and tapping into source is out of this world.
Thank you very much for the reading. Every single thing that you've said on my reading yesterday morning, I was actually asking Most High for confirmation and for direction. Like, how do I start? Where do I start from? How do I begin? Like, what should I do? And all these questions. And when you done my reading, I got the answer for each and every question. My ancestors really used you to get.
Hey, I just want to say thank you so much for the reading. It was definitely on point. It was amazing. I got it on repeat. I'm definitely going to go ahead and download it to my computer because I know it won't be up there for much longer. But I just wanted to say that the reading was super on point. I mean, in terms of just describing where we are, where I am, just the affirmation.
A reading from D-Ray, and it was absolutely amazing. D-Ray, I want you to know that you touched on a subject that I have been contemplating and trying to figure out for 2 years now. You mentioned a particular specialty that I could go into, that I could help people. And when I say I haven't told very many people about that, hardly anybody, but you picked up on it. And this isn't something that's very common and that's known to many people.
Thank you, first of all, for that reading. You know what I'm saying? On point. Like crazy, like more than I even thought it would be. You know what I'm saying? That's like, I don't even know what to say, like, because for a while I was doing a meditation on a 4-leaf clover, right, constantly. But for you to come back and say I need to work with this leprechaun energy, I just met a young lady, with friends now, and her favorite color is green, so she wears green around me all the time. And I think that just that part right there alone blew my mind, just because so much green has been coming into my life. But it's just crazy, it's blowing my mind. I don't know what else to say, but I'm grateful. I could not foresee the accuracy. But I'm grateful to know that I am on the right path, and I do know that I need to work on these certain things. But thank you again.